This is a 1980 Dodge Challenger built by Mitsubishi. It's a 4-cylinder automatic rear wheel drive car. I think it's actually the Mitsubishi Galant Lambda, but I want to see if this engine actually spins over. Oh man, that thing was jammed in there. Last on the road in 2001. It's only been sitting 20 years. Oh. At first glance, I don't think we're missing anything. Well, we're out of luck on this today. Down one battery cable, and I see we're missing spark plug wires, a carburetor, got an ignition coil. I guess I can check the oil in it. Which that looks like oil. That's good. It's got all the plugs in it, even if it's missing the wires. Alright, well, I found a battery cable for this, but I did not find any keys, so I'm going to try and just put a jumper on this and see if this actually does anything. Well, no sparks, that's good. Alright, supposedly this wire is on the start terminal. Well, crap. Whoa, wait a second. Amazing. I am blown away. That turned over, that spinned over just fine, and it sounded like it had compression. Sorry about the wind, but this may have life in it. So before I can even try to see if this thing will run, I need to go get a key for it. I think I know where that is, but I won't be able to get access to it until tomorrow. I need to find a carburetor for it. I think I have 2 of them. I don't know why one's not on it. And wow, that's really corroded. Might need a new distributor cap, definitely some wires. I think somebody, and by somebody I mean me, stole the wires off here to do something else with them. So I did manage to find the key to this thing. So I'm going to try and get something out of it. I've got a new distributor cap, new spark plug wires. I did find the carburetor. I got a carburetor gasket. So it looks like we have a coil, and hopefully there's enough of this electrical system complete to try and get it to fire. Let me get this battery on here, get what's left of this air cleaner out of the way, and find the coil wire here and do a quick and dirty spark test to make sure that works. Let's spin it over a bit. You can't see it, but it did work. Here's a good comparison on the old cap and new cap. This is the old one. See all that corrosion in there? Thing was trash. course, this is the new one. And thankfully, they have the cylinder numbers on there, so I'm going to assume that number 1 is the frontmost cylinder, like, you know, most normal engines. And if we set something on fire, we will know that I was wrong. Alright, so I got the new ignition wires installed, new distributor cap installed. I've got the carburetor, and yes, this carburetor looks new, but it was new in like 2006, and it's mostly just sat around. This is missing a lot of pieces. I think this is probably an open vacuum leak because there's some sort of plunger that's supposed to go in there. This is some kind of solenoid. I don't know if that has to be energized. Maybe that's some sort of, you know, idle air solenoid to kill it. Who knows? You know, the choke isn't hooked up at all. I know that the primary throttle is not stuck. That actually works. The secondary is froze up. So, I just needed a Venturi on here just to see if it will fire. So let's dose it down with some carburetor. Well, ow, man, that stuff's burning the crap out of me. Hang on a second. Alright, let's try this again. This time with a bottle that is brand new, so hopefully it sprays. Might help if I actually hit the carburetor. Get all that linkage. Get a lot of stuff here to ignite. Well, let's see if that does anything. Let's turn the key on, hit the starter. And the key sort of worked and the starter didn't work at all, so let's try this. Wow. Alright, let's try this again with actual gasoline. I'm going to try and get it in the... Well, that just squirted right back at me. Oh, maybe that float needle's closed. Maybe it's one of these. One of these goes to the... Oh, nope, that one just spit it out that side. Well, maybe it's this one. I'm looking for the... where the float bowl actually is. Oh man, I'm making a mess. Oops, that's not it. Alright, well, that's nice and flammable now. Let's try this again. Try not to set myself on fire. Ugh, almost. Yeah, let me try something else here. Well, that didn't seem to make a damn bit of difference. Let me hook up the vacuum advance for the distributor and the solenoid. So I decided to pull the valve cover off this thing after I got it going, and yeah, we've got some rust, some milk, more rust back here. I did check the dipstick and it is overfilled, but it didn't look like milk. It seems like mostly oil. So clearly water has gotten in here. But I mean, it's running-ish. So I think I'm going to try and get some WD-40 or something in here to kind of get rid of some of this rust. I was actually trying to see if the water pump was working. I put coolant in here. So let me clean some of this rust up, see if we can get some oil pressure, see if we can get some coolant flowing through here, clean this up a bit. Well, I got it running on all cylinders. It sounded pretty good there for a minute. And I poured some Marvel mystery oil down on the rocker arms and around the valves and everything. You can see that kind of splattered everywhere whenever it revved up. I also poured some down the throat of the carburetor to smoke it out, kind of clean or coat everything, since it looks like water has made it in there somehow. There's not much. The oil isn't turning to milk. I do see right here coolant spurts out of that whenever it's under any pressure, and I think that is supposed to connect to here, which goes into the heater hose. So I need to get a piece of hose and hook that back up. I don't know if the needle valve in here is stuck closed or what. I took out the elbow on there, and I mean, the hole doesn't look obstructed, but there's a sight glass on there. I never saw fuel filling that up. I think this might have been a vent. That's where I was putting fuel. Who knows where it was going, but it was actually running. I'd like to know if that fuel pump is any good or not. I guess I could just get an electric one. But one thing I noticed here, so this is single overhead cam, and we got 2 rows of rockers here. We've got 4 valves over here for the exhaust, and then 4 valves over here for the intake. And then what on earth are these? Get those wires out of the way. They've got springs and adjusters like a valve. they're just a lot smaller. And looking in the intake manifold, it looks like there's a smaller tube there. I have no idea what those are for, if that's some sort of emissions thing or what. But so I really need to get this car out of the hole that it's in so that I can drain all this old oil out of here, at least change it so it doesn't get any worse. I did fill it with coolant. Well, I put a gallon in there because that's what I had. And, you know, of course, some of it came out down there. I'm really trying to see if, like, the block is busted or there's, you know, something catastrophically wrong. But so far, so good. So I guess I need to take that carburetor off and apart, or hell, Amazon might have one for $100. I'll see if I can get one of those. But this thing is knocking on the door of being able to run and drive. Well, I'll say run. Has an automatic transmission. Who knows if that's any good or not. That could be trash. I guess there's a dipstick to that. I guess I could pop that out and see what it looks like. Because the transmission oil pump will run, you know, even whenever it's idle. So, yeah, that looks like there's liquid on it. Alright, so let's get this back in here. How much does it have? Is it possible to tell? Okay. Actually, that looks good. Yeah, we might be in business here. Alright, this may be kind of hard to see, but these are the valve cover bolts. And as we can see, they're pretty rusted up. So I think that's how the water got in there, was seeping past these rubbers here into the valve train. So there might be a little bit of water in the oil. Of course, it's all mixed up now since we've been running it, but it's another reason why I want to get this jacked up and get the oil drained out of it and at least changed. When I first started this, I thought for sure that engine was going to be stuck, especially whenever I tried to put a battery on it at first, but got it running. It runs okay. It could certainly run better, but it'll do good enough. The next step is to dig it out of the hole and then get some tires on it, make sure the automatic transmission does work, brakes, and all that other good stuff. That will all be on future episodes. So thanks a lot for watching, and be sure and check out my other videos. I've got several more in the queue that I'm trying to get out. So anyway, appreciate it.